What is going on, everybody? Here we are again, another podcast. New location, by the way. Just so you guys, if you hadn't noticed, the studio has changed slightly since the last time we did a podcast. Part of that is because we have moved again. Long story, but do I want to get into the story? I don't know. Essentially, we changed our location because the house we were living in, the AC and heat was getting colder and colder and wasn't warming up. And then there was some small little disagreement with the owner of the house versus what I was doing with the house. I mean, they basically said, we don't want you doing any more work on our house. Okay, well, then you need to be fixing these things. And here's the list. So there's that. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, we have moved. We're in a better location. I've got a new studio. I've got a big TV behind me that will have our logo on it, but I've got to get Wi-Fi here. We're out in the middle of nowhere and we're in the boonies. And it's, it's not bad. It's not bad. We're just I've got to get Starlink. So I got to order Starlink. Hopefully I can get that ordered today or tomorrow. And then that'll put me in a place where I need to be so I can have internet, because the studio is nice, not bad. Got some good stuff that we're doing, but I gotta have internet. So I'm actually going to leave here today after recording this podcast, turn around and go to the library. And when I get to the library, then I'm going to record, then I'll upload the podcast, edit the podcast, cut it into clips, all those types of things. So I got a long day ahead of me at the library, but that's okay. That's what library's for. So anyway, I got a couple good emails today to talk about, but I want to talk about something that kind of, it struck me pretty hard. This was Thanksgiving Day. We're talking, I'm at my brother's house. It was me, Logan, Elizabeth, Ethan, my dad, and a couple of my brothers and their families. With that being said, we were there. Shannon had to work, so we spent Thanksgiving without my wife. She works for the hospital, so there's that. And when you work at the hospital, they pretty much are in charge of your entire life. So they schedule, because she's the new kid on the block, she got pulled back, and she has to work every holiday at this point. So for this year, she's got to work every holiday. That being said, we're talking and the subject came up, and I have no memory of this, but subject came up of one of my brothers says, I said something really rude and, kind of cussed Devin out, years ago, and I still feel bad about it. And they're like, do you remember that, Devin? I'm like, no, I have no memory of that. And I said, so good thing, bad thing for my car wreck when I had it a couple of years ago. I lost a lot of memory. And I will say that I'm grateful for that in some cases, because if I lost some memory and it's a memory of some bad memories, why would I want to remember that anyway? But that being said, I started thinking about the unnecessary heavy weight that my brothers carry. And this goes to everybody. The unnecessary heavy weight that we carry as people for things we've done in the past, things we've said to people, just that in general. That's not fair to them. That's not fair to you. It's not fair to anything. It's unnecessary. We don't need to have a life where we got to live a life with intention. I guess that's my take on this. We need to live a life with intention, and we don't need to have those regrets, especially when you're in your 40s and 50s, and you sit there and you're like, I said these things and I feel really bad about it. Well, I have no memory of it, and if I have no memory of it, then why should you remember it? Honestly, I'm being honest about this. That makes no sense to me, to be upset about or still carry that weight for all these years. And this was when my brother got back from his mission. I was probably 17, maybe 17, 18 when he came back. I have no memory of this. And so it's like, if I don't remember it, then why should he remember it? Right. And part of this, because I guess he said something, those things he said, they were cutting, and it made him feel bad, but he's felt bad all these years. That's not right. No one should ever carry that much weight and that heavy weight with them the rest of their life, which, again, goes back to my comment of living a life with intention. Let's don't say things. Let's stop saying things that are going to hurt people's feelings that when you don't mean it. Seriously. I mean, and I say that when you don't mean it because there's an excerpt there when, sometimes people just get offended for no reason and they say you mean something. That's a different story. Those people are the ones with the problem. But the reality is when it comes to, it doesn't matter out of anger, out of, sure, hate or whatever. There's no need for that. That makes no sense to me. Especially to carry that for all of these years. I just horrible. If you've done someone wrong and you've been carrying a weight, just apologize to them. Swallow your pride. Get it off your chest. Move forward. If they accept your apology or not, that's on them. If you are fixing your issue, then you're good. There should be no problem whatsoever. If they have the issue with you because of something that you said, but you've gone and you've done your due diligence and you've apologized, that's you've done your job. Plain and simple, you've done your job. But don't carry that weight anymore. At all. No one should be carrying that weight. That's ridiculous. Just move forward. Live your life. Apologize. And honestly, I say apologize. Yes, you should apologize. Sometimes it's good to apologize even if you did nothing wrong. I'm married. Let me tell you, I've apologized for things I never did anything wrong. And it's just the right thing. So anyway, just apologize. It's not terrible. It's not that bad. You can do it. Anybody can do it. It's just called being an adult. Move forward and be happy. Anyway. All right, here we go. We got a couple emails and we're going to do this one coming from Chris in Chicago. Mr. Chris, here we go. Says, "Hey, Devin, I'm 38, successful career, look younger than I am, great with kids. I'm the favorite uncle. I've had a couple of serious relationships, but they ended because we wanted different things. They didn't want marriage, kids on my timeline. Now, when I bring that up, now that I bring up that I want to be married in the next few years, women either ghost or say I'm moving too fast. I'm not proposing on date 3. I just don't want to waste 2 years and find out she's not sure about kids. How do I filter the women who actually want the same thing without sounding like a psycho?" I've said it before and I say it again. If I was single again, I would probably, if something happened to my wife, I would probably most likely never get married again. And I would definitely not date again because I don't want the drama. I don't need the drama. I don't deserve the drama. It seems like dating apps are not the place to find people. So, Chris, I can tell you, if you're dealing with dating apps, a lot of times what I've found, what I've seen from other people who emailed in, other people who've asked for advice, dating apps tend to be a place for hookups. That's my take. I'm not into that kind of thing. And if want to be in a serious relationship, I think the key thing is where you're finding these ladies, right? I think if you're looking for these ladies and you're trying to find someone that you want to create a significant life with, you need to have total opposites, but goal oriented in the same direction. Meaning she needs to be different than you. Honestly, I firmly believe that. My wife is literally different than me, completely polar opposite, different than me. Now, we do have a lot of things in common. Of course, we've been married for 25 years, so we have a whole lot in common because we've grown a life together, well, almost 25 years. We have grown a life together. We have common goals. We have common, there's a commonality of what we wanted in life. We wanted kids. So that's important. But I did not meet her at a bar. I did not meet her in, any place like that. I met her at church. Now, I'm not telling you going to church is the right thing for you. I'm telling you it cannot hurt. I'm not saying you're going to find the love of your life at a church, but it cannot hurt. Plain and simple. If you want a woman of purpose and you want a woman of value, she needs to have value and goals in her life, and that she needs to understand that there is something greater than her, just like you understand that there is something greater than you. If you understand that and you can move forward, your life will get better. You will find that lady that wants to have kids. You'll find that lady that wants to, create a life together. I mean, as you said, you're 38 years old. You're tired, in a sense, like I'm saying the words, you're tired of playing around. You're tired of playing those games. You want something that's significant and that can be moving forward. I don't blame you. How do you filter those women? You got to find them right at the right location. That's the reality here. You talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your mom. Tell them what you're looking for. I'm telling you, there's no better yenta out there in the world than a mother who wants something for their child. Now, I will say, not always do mothers pick out the right women for their children. That's just a reality. I know for my case, my mother would not have picked out Shannon for me. That's okay. It worked out. It was what we did. We worked hard. We proved that we were compatible for each other, and everybody else just fell into place. And if they didn't, that's on them. That ain't on us. So there's that. But you can do this, Chris. Just be yourself, move forward, and it'll happen. Hey, Devin. Got suckered in by a online business guru. Dropped $10,000 on courses, coaches, and ads. Made less than $4K back. Now I'm $42K in debt. Credit scores tanking. Debt collectors are calling. Eating ramen in a cold apartment. Girlfriend just left because she couldn't watch me drown. I feel like a total idiot. Bankruptcy or keep fighting. How do I dig out of this hole I made? Broke in Ohio. Okay, Broke in Ohio. Obviously, you don't want to use your name. That's perfectly fine. Anonymity is perfectly okay. First of all, I'm not sure what you were trying to figure out to do online. You spent $10K for a course. That's about average for most coaches out there. And when I say most coaches are a ripoff, and they're going to give you information that is recycled over and over and over and over. And you can get the same information and everything for free by just watching YouTube. So, not trying to plug anything, not trying to sell anything, because I refuse to do that. If we sell anything, we have my wife's working on a couple cookbooks right now, and we'll just sell that. But I'm going to tell you right now, never, ever, ever, and you already have learned this lesson, never, ever, ever give any money to anyone that says they're going to make your life that much better, right? Only you can do it. Now, if you have, what you want is a mentor. And that is typically someone that does things and knows things that you don't know, and they can improve your life, right? If it's financial, if it's emotional, whether it's spiritual, whatever, you need several mentors in your life. And then sometimes you'll outgrow that mentor, and that is perfectly fine. But you should never have to pay for a mentor. Okay. Sounds like you got one of these online courses where they coach you in how to build a business, and they'll pay for these ads, and you've made some money back, right? So there's something there that they did click, but there's not everything there there's some things that did not click, right? As far as your girlfriend, I can't help you on that one. If she's left, she's left. She may come back. I don't know. But you mentioned bankruptcy or keep fighting. You're $42,000 in debt. That's not terrible. Okay. That's probably including the money you spent on the course. You're probably including like a car payment and whatever else other debt, credit card debts or whatever. I'm going to say fight it out. Okay. Keep working, keep doing things, find you a side hustle to help fill in the gaps where it's needed, and you can make this work. I mean, plain and simple. You know, the online, I'll dare say there are most, if not all, online gurus, whether it's business, whether it's for personal life or whatever. Most of them are nothing but ripoffs. Now, I will get a lot of hate for this. I'm very, very confident on that one. I will get so much hate, it's ridiculous, but that's fine. Some people believe in it. Some people think that they're the most amazing thing ever. Some people just need that. What you need is a good friend that you can confide to that will keep things to themselves on how to get things better. Let's start with your personal life, okay? If you want your personal life to get good, you have to be positive. You have to find someone who has things that you don't have, and you have to take those things and learn from what they have. I mean, you need to find a mentor to help you with a better personal life. Okay? 2, let's go to your business life. If you are working and you want to make more money, find someone that makes more money than you, that is honest, that is trustworthy, someone that will not sugarcoat anything when they talk to you. They'll just tell you how it is, and they'll get you on a straight path. And honestly, I'll say Jordan Peterson. If I was to spend any money for any online course for personal life or whatever, I'll go back to that one. It would be anything from Jordan Peterson. Okay, you can go buy his book, any of his books, and your life will be that much better. Prepare to have a dictionary on the side, because Jordan uses words that I myself, as a non-college going individual, I have had to say, what does that word mean? Which means I learned a new word, which is cool. So he is helping me on the education side. But the reality when it comes to your business, though, or anything, you need to be able to. You need to find people who are more or are where you want to be, and they're willing to talk to you and take a call from you and help you, mentor you in that way. I had a conversation with my oldest brother once, and we were talking about money and finances and things like that. And I said, you've done very well with your life, and part of it was one thing that we learned from my parents, my dad, is how to work, how to create money, how to make something from nothing. That's what my dad and my mom taught us how to do. Now, Rick, he had some financial gurus in his life. One of them was, I believe, was his father-in-law. And he was able to take some information from him and learn how to invest. That's one thing I never had. And we were talking about, investing and things like that. I said, Rick, it would have been nice growing up to have someone I could go to and it would just give me subtle advice on best way to invest. Now, I've got some investments, stuff that I've had to learn on my own in a later in my life. I'm 47 years old, and I've had to figure a lot of those things out by myself, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Being self-taught there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have someone that can help you speed up that process, they may not tell you exactly what you should invest in, but they will tell you stuff that you should how you should invest and what to look for. So that would have been nice. So find someone like that. I'm sure you got some friends out there that do stuff like that. And if not, I'm serious. Hang around people. That's the other one you got to talk about. We got to talk about that. You need to think about the 3 people that you hang around with. The 3 people that you hang around with are the people you're going to become. Are going to be the people that you will be in the future. Your future is really dictated upon the people that you hang out with. Plain and simple. If you're smoking pot every day and those are the people you hang out with and they have nothing going on in their lives, that's what you're going to be turned into. But if you want to have something better and you want to improve your life, you got to start with one and move forward. And then you got to go turn around and find people who have things that you don't have. And I'm not talking, find them like, well, hey, they got the greatest car in the world, blah, blah, blah. They're drug dealers or whatever. No, find something respectable and things like that that you don't have, and it'll work out. I hear even now, I'll have the conversation with my father, and he'll talk about how he goes, "Have you ever thought about just getting a normal job?" I said, "What do you mean a normal job, Dad?" He's like, "Well, it seems like what you do is just doesn't bring it. It's not that tangible." I'm like, "Dad, is very tangible." I said, I said, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not good. That's the thing that when it comes to parents, you have to think about and understand is they may not fully understand what you do, but they can grasp it. I had to explain it in terms that my dad would understand. So my dad, growing up, we had a newspaper. It's called the Senior Times, and it was catered towards elderly people throughout town. And I explained it to him. I said, "Dad, here's the deal. So my money is based off advertisements. Advertisements are really how my life is made, how my money is made. That being said, I create content, I post the content, I get paid off the advertisement." I said, "Now, the newspaper, you would sell ads, you'd have the articles in the newspaper, you'd have ads go along with it, and that's what paid for the newspaper. Because the newspaper was free. But he would sell the advertisements are what would generate the money." So once he understood that part, he's like, "Okay, and you make money off your advertisement?" I'm like, "Yes, sir, I do." So creating money is easy. Investing money can be hard. But if you find the right people in your life to help you, then your life will get that much better. So I'm going to tell you on a cheap right now for you, go to the library, check out 4 or 5 books. It's completely free. You can check out 4 or 5 books on things that you need to improve, whether it's financial, relationship, or whatever. Read those books. Have those books, understand those books, and apply the things that you learn, and then start looking for your mentors. Stop wasting $10K for a course for people to overpromise something that you can get done for free on your own. In the world of AI, there's really no need to pay for these courses because AI will do a lot of these things for you. And your life will get so much better based off of that, plain and simple. So I'm sorry you're going through these things. I hate that you're struggling. But again, I'm going to tell you, keep fighting, my friend. Keep fighting. Keep eating that ramen noodles. Keep pushing through. Your girlfriend, she may or may not come back. And if she doesn't come back, that's because she didn't understand your value. Number one, you are worth it. Your value is way beyond what you can even comprehend. Your value is not dictated based off of what other people say. It's based off of what you can be and what you can envision. You are 100% worth more than you can even possibly imagine. So that being said, keep fighting, my friend. I promise you it will work out. Anyway, that's all we got for today, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can go in and listen to the podcast anywhere you want to, but you can also call in and leave a voice message with your questions too. You can call that number is 615-624-4141. Call me anytime, leave a message. I will put your message on the show. We'll talk about your problems, your needs, your wants, everything. It's all said and done. It's plain and simple that way. And I am always here to help. We're trying to take this show to the next level. Potentially it could be bigger than what it currently is. Not that it's really huge, but I'm just telling you right now, with your help, we can make the show even more than it currently is. And I appreciate it. I love the fact that you guys email me in all the time. I love the fact that you guys, trust me to give information and advice as I see fit. Whether it's good or bad advice, that's up to you to figure out. But again, I appreciate it. And don't forget, you can call in to the phone number, 615-624-4141. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys later.
Without the reservation, family roots and wayward souls, stories deep like black and coals, guiding you when times are tough. Stick around if you ain't had enough. A young blood's here for you, with wisdom old and questions new. Tune in now and you will see life's a mess, but side by side we're free. Nobody's here for you, with wisdom old and questions new. Tune in now and you will see life's a mess, but side by side we're